This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio on this sub 100 Saturday. It's nice.
Soggy Saturday.
It's a little humid, like breathing through a coffee straw. Welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and together we are your KTAR car guys, heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers. So we encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. And today on the Bumper to Bumper roadmap, plenty of car tips, open phones and texts, and prepping your car for monsoon season. I had a buddy of mine that recently brought a brand new Honda Fit, and he went in the restaurant and left his sunroof on his car open. And there was a rainstorm that happened while he was in the restaurant.
A little soupy seat. That was humid in there probably, right?
Oh, my. Could you imagine? It's the time of year you don't leave the sunroof open when you go away from your car because you don't know. The weather will change in minutes. My wife and I went to dinner last night, and it was clear skies when we went in. And I had a couple drinks, and my wife was driving home, and it got stormy. And she's like, I don't want to drive in this. Quit drinking. I'm like, no, you're driving.
Quit drinking. You should have told me that an hour ago.
So we're driving down Indian School Road, and she's in the right lane, and we're hitting every puddle, and like it jerks the car to the right. And I'm like, honey, why don't you drive closer to the crown, you know? She doesn't like my driving.
What, do you want to drive? You can drive if you can tell me how to drive.
So I got to thinking, what do we want to talk about on the show tomorrow? It's monsoon driving, and it never fails that you're going to see somebody, I guarantee you, within the month of August, that is on the hood of their car, stuck in the middle of a wash crossing, you know, where they got those sticks on the side of the road that say 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. You know, have you guys gone to your owner's manual and see how many foot of water you can actually drive through? Does it say that in there? You drive a Suzuki. It's good for 1.5 foot in a water crossing. You know, I don't really know if people know how much is too much water.
Well, I think when we get these rains and maybe it's like the snow back east, people sometimes just freak out. I mean, if you're a longtime resident of somewhere where it snows, it's no big deal, right? Mm-hmm. But then you go there and you know, the snow, you freak out. You're not a native. Well, same thing in Arizona. People, it rains, and I think everybody forgets how to drive, and a lot of people lose common sense. But yeah, somebody's going to wind up in the wash. But I mean, and they drive around barriers. I mean, so people, we really have to let's be aware. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. I mean, when you talk about prepping the car in a little bit, what about driving? That's a perfect example, Dave, like you said, driving down the right lane. I mean, sometimes I like to drive in the right lane because there's somebody at the bus stop, right? I'm joking.
That's got a little bit of it. You know, he says he's joking. He's not joking.
Yeah, maybe years ago, but no, it's just, you know, and not only are, you know, the cars every time you're hitting those puddles, but what happens to that water? That's coming off the car with a lot of force. And going into the wheel wells and in different areas of the car. In a new car, they're nice and sealed up, but you take an older car, just 10 years old or maybe even a few years old, maybe too many times you've smashed into that parking curb and ripped the lower shield off the car. Maybe the stereo was put in aftermarket and they didn't put the little grommet back around the wiring harness. Now you're just blasting this water into the car. So
water's amazing. It gets in all kinds of places that you don't think it's going to get into. And so when we're working on the car later, we have these cars come in and we find an electrical problem. It's because a little bit of water got in there somewhere and worked over the next 3 years to create a lot of corrosion inside the wiring, and now it's an issue. So honestly, you don't have to take your car for a drink if you don't have to. You know,
right.
Drive later. These storms, they don't last that long.
Yeah, they really don't. And then there's just some of the normal wear and tear things. Like I went out of town last weekend, went up to Flagstaff, ended up at the Grand Canyon. What do you know? My windshield wiper on the driver's side, of course. That thing, I might as well just throw the darn thing out off the truck and do without it. So, you know, there's the easy stuff that we need to do as regular maintenance that you want to make sure. I mean, heck, we never use our windshield wiper blades anyway. It's always the first time you go to use it after it finally comes unstuck from the window.
There's only one sound. There's only one sound worse than dragging your fingers down the chalkboard, and that's dragging your windshield wiper arm across the window without the rubber on it.
You know what? Maybe the third worst noise is that noise you just made with everybody driving down the road listening right now.
That was bad.
But other things to get ready, and you can ruin a windshield. Talk about, a $20 windshield wiper blade goes bad, you can ruin a windshield. They get scratches on them. It's horrible. But some of the other things of driving in the rain. What about the haboobs?
The
haboobs
are a big deal.
If you can't see, my wife's been driving down to Tucson, so we've been talking about what do you do if you get in this dust storm and you can't see and you can't drive. And they say pull off to the side of the road, but turn your lights off. It's unsafe. They can't judge distance. You might have somebody come up behind you. They think they're following you. Yeah, they're going to fall right over the top of you if you.
And we've had some serious pileups on I-10 from these dust storms rolling through.
And we need to slow down a little bit, give ourselves some extra space. The roads, when you first get initial rain, and it hasn't rained in a while, the roads are real slick because you're lifting that oil and it's just kind of floating off the top. The best kind of rain we can have to wash the streets is a downpour. Wash all that oil off the streets, and they're not as slippery, but we still need to give ourselves some extra braking room. We'll make sure all of our headlights and taillights and turn signals and stuff are all these things that should be working anyway. Want to make sure they're working well. And the other thing I like to do, Dave, I love Rain-X. Put it on the windshield, and if you don't know what that is, it's like wax. It's a water repellent for your windshield. You put that on, a lot of times you don't even need to use your windshield wipers. It's nice.
I hate buying windshield wiper blades because, it rains, you're like, oh, my windshield wiper blades are terrible. So you buy a set, and they're great, and they dry out by the next time it rains, which is 6 months later.
Exactly.
I read about rain once.
We warranty a lot of wiper blades in my shop.
Really?
Well, I don't want to charge somebody. Wiper blades. Now, you can buy – we'll talk about wiper blades for a second. You can buy a $3 windshield wiper blade somewhere, and that thing is garbage. They're junk. They're going to last a little bit. May not do a very good job. You can buy a nice Bosch wiper blade. They're more expensive. They're the best blades there are. But I'm not going to put a $25 blade on someone's car and have the thing last 6 months. So, yeah, we warranty them sometimes or a lot of times, but got to have good blades.
That's one of the few do-it-yourselfer projects you see anymore. But, some of these wiper blades are a pain in the neck to change.
You
ever get one of those that you open the box and it fits like 25 different cars?
Well, those
and
are
they
cheap
print
blades.
they print the instructions on this little 1x1 sheet, and the font size is 1.5, so they can fit all the information in there.
In Mandarin.
Plus, they got 5 different languages. I'm never going to get this wiper blade on this car. I'm the exact fit guy.
I was having some problems with some wiper blades in my truck, so we had the rep come out. I'm like, the second one, it doesn't wipe. There's like this stripe right in the middle. He's like, Matt, you're installing them wrong. I'm like, give me a break. What do you mean installing them wrong? Anybody can install windshield wipers. He's like, here, take a brand new one and put it on. And I did it. He's like, see, the way you're installing that, you're bending the beam. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Sure
Did you have to become an ASE Master Certified Technician in order to install a wiper blade?
It sounds pathetic, but
yeah,
there's something to it. So
anyway, well, the haboob thing is a matter of have a good air filter in your car. Mm-hmm. And be generous with changing those things out. There's so much dust particulates in our air that are there all the time. This morning the skies are clear because the air just got washed. But generally there is just a haze of dust over this town. So having a good air filter, because that gets into your oil, and it's like a polishing compound that wears your engine out when it gets in there. And we're just talking about microscopic dust. So get a good air filter. Keep a good air filter in there. And one of the things, people will change their air filter out themselves, and that's fine. I'm good with that. But make sure you get the air box back together right, because they'll go ahead and pull that thing off. They'll change the air filter, but they don't realize that the tube at the other end at the throttle body came loose a little bit. Now there's a little air that's getting past that. It's unfiltered.
Unmetered air too. And the other thing, take your shop vac and vacuum all the leaves and the bugs and all that stuff, because the engine, the air filter, that's sucking enough air, and then what happens when you shut it off? Some of that debris just falls right back down. So you need to vacuum that out. And the other tip on air filters, the worst thing you can do is say, oh, let me look. Oh, it looks pretty good. I'll just beat it on my hand or knock it on the ground and knock the dust out of it. Well, that's worse, just leave it alone, because when you're doing that and you're doing that pounding on that, you're taking those microscopic particles and you're embedding them even further into the filter, and you actually can pass some of them through.
We're talking a micron or two, and I don't know how big that is, but it's pretty small.
Pretty itsy-beatsy-teensy.
So anyhow, when we come back, we're taking your phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277 KTAR. You listen to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and Bumper to Bumper Radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE MasterTechs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Hi, I'm Kurt Morgan, owner of Shadow Mountain Auto Service in Phoenix. I'm also a college automotive instructor, and I've been a technician for over 30 years. In that time, I've seen all kinds of games and gimmicks in the auto repair business, the worst of which seems to be associated with transmissions. I think it's because, to most, including technicians, the inside of a transmission is a mystery. So when one of our valued customers has a transmission problem, we send them straight to Tri-City Transmission. No games, no gimmicks. That's Tri-City Transmission.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone, on Bumper to Bumper Radio. We are in the middle of our Summer of Love promotion at the Bumper to Bumper Radio shops. What are you looking at me like?
I was going to say, when you open up, Dave, I think we should come back with the lyrics. So when you say "Welcome back to," it's like,
okay. All right.
So the beat of the music, you have to say you're welcome back in the same tone of the scene. I don't know.
It's funny coming from a guy who sometimes puts me to sleep while he's talking.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, the Summer of Love, promotion is going on at all the Bumper to Bumper shops. And what that is we are raising money for Phoenix Children's Hospital, and we're doing a dollar for dollar match. You can pop into any Bumper to Bumper radio shop. You can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. I guarantee you there's one in your neighborhood. And stop in and donate, and we'll match that, and that's going to Phoenix Children's Hospital. And that goes through Labor Day is what that's doing.
And just because you don't have a car repair that you need, you can go into any of the Bumper to Bumper shops and meet them. So that way, when you do need a car repair, you know the guys, and you drop off your $5, your $10, or whatever you're going to get to Phoenix Children's. But the other thing, if you can't make it to a Bumper to Bumper radio shop, at bumpertobumperradio.com, there's a link that goes directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and you can give the money right to them with your credit card. So anything is greatly appreciated. Helping the kiddos.
Well, we got to get to the phones. We've got open lines at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. We've got Jeremy and Russ. We're going to go with Jeremy in Phoenix. He's got a 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan. How can we help you, Jeremy? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. Yeah, I have a problem with the battery draining. I put in a new battery. I've had the alternator checked, and I took it to a dealer, and they took out the aftermarket alarm system because they thought that was draining it. But 3 days later, I've got a dead battery again.
Okay.
So I'm wondering what you might suggest.
Yeah, the And it makes sense why they may have taken out that aftermarket alarm system, because they're looking at, possible causes. We call those key-off draws. So something's drawing down amperage when the car is off and draining the battery. And, things like that can be something as simple as a light bulb in the trunk that may not be turning off when you open the trunk, the lights come on. Caravan doesn't have trunk, or even the glove box lights. So you open it up, the light comes on, it's like your refrigerator. When you close it, that light's supposed to go back off. And if it's not going back off. So one way is that they'll do is just go to the fuse box and just see which things got current going through it when the car's off. What accessory. Matt, you were telling me about that guy that he had an airport car. He was a pilot.
Yeah,
funny story.
Yeah, this is back in the 80s when I worked at Porsche. We had a pilot. He had a 944. And back in Virginia, when I lived there, radar detectors are illegal. So we would mount these radar detectors and bury them in the behind one of the front lenses, and they were pretty well disguised in the car. It's not like the one you just stuck to your windshield. Every time this guy would come back in town, he'd have a dead battery at the airport. And we finally figured out he would park the car, and there's enough radar and enough things happening that this radar detector, after you would park it, it would just, the thing was going full blast the whole time detecting radar. And he'd pilot, he'd be gone for 3, 4, 5 days, and he'd come back every time with a dead battery. So the weirdest things can cause, trunk lights. Sometimes you literally got to lock somebody in the trunk to make sure the light goes off when you close the door.
We always do that to new guy.
How do you know the light's off in the refrigerator when you close the door? Do you? You know what I mean? You got to get in there and look once in a while.
Hey, when you get in this refrigerator, so make sure the light bulb's going off. Don't do it. Don't fall for that one.
And then we'll try the dishwasher.
But, Jeremy, you've already gone to the dealer. You're already working with them. Take it back to them. I think they're going to, stick with it and find out where that key-off draw is coming from. And if that's not working for you, you need a qualified shop. You can find them at bumper-to-bumperradio.com.
And I don't think it's a matter of they didn't fix my car right.
Uh-huh.
I think
they had to eliminate something.
They have to eliminate. This is a process of elimination. They probably had some reason to believe that, you would think. And so now you just need to take another step. You need to pick up where they left off last time.
For sure. Well, thanks for the call, Jeremy. 602-277-5827. 602-277-KTAR. Let's go with Russ in Phoenix on a 2002 Honda CRV. How can we help you, Russ? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I got a 2002 Honda CRV. It's got the 2.4 liter. It's a 5-speed manual. I use it till I'm behind my motorhome. It's got 125,000 original miles on it.
Is that towed miles or driven miles?
It doesn't show when you tow it because it's electronic.
Okay.
It has to be running.
Okay.
No, that's original miles on it. And the fuel gauge is stuck at a quarter of a tank. And the thing is, when I fill it up, the fuel light will come on when it's low, and that usually activates if the float's working. Is that true?
Well, possibly. The light is going to come on at a certain resistance value that's programmed into the computer or whatever's matching that when you get down to a certain level in the tank.
Like
but again, I don't think we've heard the whole question.
He may have a gauge problem. So in other words, the computer knows the car's low on gas, but the gauge is not telling you.
Did I miss something? So I don't know if I've heard the problem yet. The car goes down to a quarter of a tank, but are you saying the light it doesn't go any lower than a quarter of a tank, but then the light eventually comes on?
No, the fuel gauge is stuck at a quarter of a tank, eighth of a tank.
No matter what, up or down.
If I fill it up and I run it down, it stays right there. It doesn't make any difference. If it's on or off, it shows an eighth of a tank.
Uh-huh.
But when I fill it up, and then I notice when I got below fuel light comes on, and then I put my 13 gallons in because there's 2 left. It's a 15-gallon tank. But I thought that fuel level light that comes on telling me it's low, it needs fuel, is usually in the float level.
Yeah. Okay. Now I see what you're saying. I think it typically does. Unless so maybe you have a gauge problem.
Yeah. No. Exactly what I said like 5 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, I was just confused there somewhere that I mean, I heard him talking about the light not coming on, but I wasn't quite clear I was hearing the problem. So
that's why we make good partners. When you can't hear something, I can, and when I can't hear something, you can hear.
I just wasn't following or something. I don't know. Anyway,
so yeah,
whatever.
basically everything in the fuel tank in my mind is working okay. If I had to guess it, that's all working like it should be. We got a gauge problem, so it's got nothing to do with the resistance or the toilet float back there in the fuel tank.
I would agree.
That's all working. Hey, back to water crossings and driving across. Why you don't want to cross these water crossings? Because it'd be very, very, very expensive. Remember, I think it was last year we had a bunch of storms in August. I don't know how many transmissions I redid because someone drove through too deep of a puddle. That's the transmission. But the other thing can happen is if a lot of these cars have low intakes.
Yeah, we want the hood lines are lowered down. We want
an engine is really an air pump, so it's sucking air out, in, and then it's blowing it out through your exhaust pipe. So it's sucking, and if it sucks water in, well, air compresses. Okay. Water does not compress, so we call it hydro lock. So if you get water in top of the cylinders, you're going to lock that motor up, and it's going to be a real expensive trip across. And not only that, the footage of you on the news is going to be embarrassing.
Even worse. But some of the other cars, normal factory stock cars are susceptible to that. But even worse, people take the cold air intake kits, and they eliminate some of the factory air duct work, and they put that filter down low. Boy, that's a direct shot right to the engine. That's like a big old straw sucking it right into the motor.
It gets real expensive real quick. So when we come back, we're taking more calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You listen to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
In life, there are certain relationships outside of family and friends that are important. For instance, if your car breaks down, you want to have a relationship with an auto repair shop that you trust to repair your car. The same goes for your doctor, your accountant, and your attorney. Why? Because the services they provide involve health and financial decisions, and it's important to hire a trusted professional. This same principle applies to real estate. Hi, I'm Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. For most of us, our home is the largest financial commitment and asset we will own in our lifetime. So when you decide to sell, it's important to hire a professional, knowledgeable real estate agent that you can trust to represent your interests and provide the best customer service available. If you would like a consultation to help determine the value and discuss a comprehensive marketing plan to sell your home, please visit my website at lisareneehenry.com. That's Lisa Renee, R-E-N-E-E, Henry.com. Come experience the difference a great real estate agent can make.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
KTAR News, on air, 92.3 FM, online at KTAR.com, and on every device with the KTAR app. Arizona's breaking news and traffic, now.
KTAR News Time, 11:30. I'm Mike Sackley. 16 are dead after a hot air balloon caught fire and crashed into a pasture in Lockhart, Texas this morning. That's about 30 miles south of Austin. Investigators say there were power lines in the area where the balloon went down. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board investigators are on the scene. Again, no survivors after a hot air balloon went down in central Texas. Now the latest from ABC News.
Margaret Wiley watched it happen.
The next thing I knew, you saw a big fireball go up, and it was just is just praying that whoever was there got away from the thing in time.
And now the NTSB is on the scene of a deadly balloon accident in central Texas. 16 people killed when the balloon hit a high-voltage power line and burst into flames over farmland in the town of Lockhart. Investigator Eric Grossoff says determining a cause is just the start of the process.
You have weather. You have coordination with a number of resources here, local, state, and federal.
ABC News aviation consultant John Nance says this is one of the worst balloon crashes he's ever heard of.
The only control really you have over a hot air balloon is up and down. And there's a lot of pre-planning and with wind and so on. The power lines are one of the biggest hazards that pilots of hot air balloons face.
Lockhart is about 30 miles south of Texas. It's in the heart of the state's hill country, a popular tourist destination. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Now let's get a check on traffic in the RMEGold.com Traffic Center. Here's Mike Daniels.
Well, thanks, Mike. We do have a wreck off right on the on-ramp, Loop 101 westbound at 51st Avenue, and a crash at 19th Avenue and Rozier to watch out for. This report brought to you by Burge Ford, a dealer you can trust for over 70 years, located off US 60 and Mesa Drive or at burgeford.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
Partly cloudy skies for your Saturday, the high 103. Could see some rain tonight with a low of 84. Sun and clouds tomorrow, a high of 100. Chance for storms Sunday night and Monday morning. Right now in Chandler, 95 degrees. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. Whether replace or repair, call Howard Air. Matt and Dave, KTAR's Car Guys on Bumper to Bumper, are back with you next. I'm Mike Sackley, KTAR News.
Arizona, an amazing state for outdoor recreation and exploration. Full of mountains, lakes, streams, forests, and of course, our beautiful deserts. Hunting, fishing, camping. If it's about the outdoors, we've got it covered. KTAR invites you to Get Outdoors with Mike Russell today at noon. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and on every device with the KTAR app.
Hi, this is Lori Grenier. You've seen me on Shark Tank. One obstacle many small businesses face is that getting the capital they need can be a difficult task. That's where Cabbage comes in. Cabbage provides simple, flexible access to a line of credit up to $100,000. They have helped 80,000 businesses with over $2 billion in funding. Go to Cabbage.com or call 888-CABBAGE. You'll get a decision in minutes and can start using your funds immediately. Access your line from a phone or computer and only pay for what you take. Make Cabbage your first resort for business funding.
Looking for that last perfect getaway for summer? Look no further than Bunker to Bunker, the golf show's next tour stop at the spectacular JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa on Saturday, August 27th, benefiting Phoenix Children's Hospital. An incredible value. The two-person scramble on the famous Faldo course is loaded with special prizes, lunch, and a coupon for another round of golf, all for just $85. Make it a stay-and-play weekend with room specials starting as low as $89 per night. Space is limited. So register today at bunkergolf.com.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. Is that better?
No,
is that better?
That's worse.
Shucky-doo!
That's worse.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of open lines. It's 602-277-5827, 602-277 KTAR. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys on Bumper to Bumper Radio. And I think I forgot to mention, you can text us at 411-923. We respond to those as needed.
As we feel like it.
Anyhow, we need to get to Jim in Phoenix. He has a 2015 Kia Soul. Did I pronounce that right? Or is that Soul?
It's a Soul.
How can we help you, Jim? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Okay. Which one of you knows about a lemon law?
Matt pretends to sometimes. Go ahead, Matt.
I used to do the lemon law arbitration with Ford, yes. So what's going on?
Okay. So, question is, After 3 transmissions and 16,000 miles, what do you think I should do?
Wow. Slow down.
Is it a manual or automatic?
Automatic, 6-speed.
How many miles on the car?
16,000.
16,000 miles.
What's happening? What's the symptom? What's going on?
Hard shifting between first and second.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. And I mean, it's been 10-plus years since I did this with Ford. And when I did the lemon law stuff with Ford, I was the mechanical expert. And then we had a consumer advocate. Then we had some Ford people in there. We would talk about the various things. But don't hold 100% when I say it, but I think there has to be 4 repair attempts within a certain period of time, and I believe it's 30 days, it could be 21 days, out of service. It doesn't have to be consecutive days of service. It's the total amount of time you're out of the car on the warranty trips added up.
Hey, Jim, when you say this thing shifts hard from first gear to second gear, okay. I wonder, some of these shift complaints can be so subjective.
Well, they can be, but here's where the dealership has gone out there. They have acknowledged that this has a problem now simply by attempting to fix it. I mean, I'll give you an example of the Ford deal. When we were arbitrating the lemon law deal, there was a couple in Sun City, and they had a Lincoln Town Car or a Crown Vic or something like that.
Boatish.
The radio, the AM reception was bad on the car. They acknowledged it was bad. So what do? The technician's guessing probably, let's try a radio. That didn't work. Let's try another radio. That didn't help. Well, the antenna's in the windshield. It must be the windshield. Let's put a windshield in it. That didn't work. Well, the only other thing is the cable from the radio to the windshield, to the antenna. Put that in. That didn't work. Well, you know what? That's just a characteristic of the car. That it's just as good as it's going to get. There's really nothing wrong with it. Sorry, you just bought that car back, guys. You made 4 attempts to fix it, and it didn't work. Maybe it was a characteristic of the car, but you can't try to fix it and then come back and say
there's a problem, and also no, there's not a problem.
Characteristic of the car. So I would recommend going on and reading what the lemon law requirements are to meet those requirements, and then carefully document what you have, and go back again. I mean, there's attorneys that will help you do this. You can do it by yourself. I think these are all arbitrated by the Better Business Bureau now. They have an arm of the BBB that does just that with the Car Dealers Association, and they're very fair.
Yeah.
They're very fair. They want to fix the car. The manufacturer doesn't want to have these out there. So they're difficult to fix sometimes, and I've seen plenty of people go out and buy great cars that were lemon cars, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with them.
I'd buy that one that didn't have the AM stereo because I don't listen to AM.
Yeah, exactly. And there's certain things you shouldn't even try to fix, One thing I know I don't try to fix is bicycles. Dave, you're always out on your bicycle. I took my bike for service, and I ran into a customer, and they're like, you don't fix your bike? You're a mechanic. You have like this gazillion dollars of tools, and you don't fix your bike? No, I'll screw it up every time. It'll never. It'll never shift right.
We don't fix bicycles, and I would probably break off every nut and bolt on that thing because they talk about these little 4 Newton meters or something small, torque specs, and I get a big old impact, and I want to try and install the stem on my bicycle. I literally have a bike for every occasion. And it's like this sliding scale, and I guess I could, I don't have a single tattoo on my body, but I'm thinking about getting a tattoo of a bicycle.
Oh my God!
And I've been talking about it for 10 years, and I'm like, I don't know, this is just a fad. I'll probably grow out of this bicycle thing, and 10 years later, I'm like, no, I could probably get one now. I think I am a cyclist. But, there's something going on today because I don't fix my own bike, and I have 6 bicycles. So I take them to Rage Cycles, which is in Scottsdale, 64th Street and Thomas Road. They are having a pizza party today at 4 o'clock. Peter, the owner, says they're blowing some stuff out. And there's door prizes. Door prizes is free stuff, and that's cool. So I think you should go down to Rage Cycles today.
But if you're going to have pizza, aren't they right by the canal? So everybody who's riding their bikes by the canal over there, Thomas, I mean, you just stop in.
I think it's a pizza food truck. I don't think it's, a la carte, come get free pizza. I think, take your wife out to the date, buy her a piece of pizza over there at Rage Cycles. But they do Free Beer Friday, which I happen to make every now and then, which I really enjoy.
So I know you've got the high-end mountain bike where it weighs 7 ounces. I mean, my shoes weigh more than your bike.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and then you've
true.
got the road bike. You've got the single speed. Do you have the cruiser, like the stretch cruiser with the beer mugs and the horn and the bell
that's
and
the
all
one
that
thing
stuff?
I do not have. But, they have all makes, there is a, they cover everything. So they got BMX bikes, they got mountain bikes, they got road bikes, they got cruiser bikes, they got all kinds of bikes. And that's the problem, is every time I go there I spend a little money. I think Peter knows that. So if you want to go give Peter some of your money over there at Rage Cycles, I literally have been going there for 10 years, and it's kind of like we talk about taking your car to an auto shop. It's very comfortable. Once in a while they annoy me or I annoy them or something like that, but we have a relationship, and so it's fun to go there. And I think you need to get that with your auto mechanic at some point. That's what we talk about on Bumper to Bumper Radio. So today, if you need something to do at 4 o'clock this afternoon, they're open from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Rage Cycles, 64th Street in Thomas. I highly recommend them if you're thinking about getting into cycling. It's a great way to stay in shape and a little hobby that you can,
Did you and your wife ever get that tandem bike going that you bought at
No, we do have it. Oh, we do have a tandem bike. Yes, we do have it going, and it's way too hot to ride it right now. But when I do go into Rage Cycles, they're like, "Hey, you want your receipt?" I'm like, "No, that's evidence." I never want my wife to know, even though she's hearing it right now, how much money I spend down there at Rage Cycles. But I'm like, "Oh, tires at least got 10 miles on it. Give me another one."
Give me another one.
So anyway.
I think, Dave, we've got some people that want to talk about cars, not bikes. Maybe we could answer some bicycle questions, but Jim in Phoenix has been very patient on his Lumina. He's racking up the miles on this baby. Jim, your Lumina's got 184,000 miles and an air conditioning problem. What's happening?
Yes, sir. The problem is when I'm running the max or AC and I'm at a steady cruising speed, everything's fine. As soon as I kick it into like a passing gear, or any time my foot goes into the pedal hard, the vacuum switches from the bi-level to the floor, and then as soon as I let off the gas and maintain a steady speed, it comes back to the bi-level. So I'm assuming I have a vacuum problem. I just not sure where to begin to look.
Well, that's pretty basic system, Jim. There's what's happening. Of course, the engine, like Dave said earlier, is just a big air pump, and when it's sucking, it's just creating a vacuum. Well, when you step on the throttle and you go wide open throttle or even much, 3/4 throttle, it doesn't create as much vacuum anymore, and that's why these cars have a little reserve tank. Maybe when you're a kid, you looked under your dad's Ford or something, it looked like a coffee can. Look, there's a Folgers can on the fender well. And there's a vacuum line that goes from the engine to some kind of reservoir. Some cars, it looks like a little ball attached to the hood. There's all kinds of different methods. So there's a vacuum tank. It's like a surge tank, and then the vacuum line goes into the firewall and then to the dash. So chances are the line that's feeding either to that tank or from that reserve tank into the dashboard probably has a small crack in it somewhere, so there's just not enough reserve capacity in that tank. Just a matter of...
Remember vacuum-operated windshield wipers? Speaking of Monsoon, they work great until you had to drive up a hill, right? Because you're not making any vacuum going up the hill, and the windshield wipers quit working. That's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably not too hard to find. In our shops, we have what we call a smoke machine. Just a light pressurized machine, and it burns a little bit of oil, like the kids using their little toy trains that make it smoke, and we just push that, and we'll start finding where the leaks are coming from. Not a hard find usually. Still could be underneath the dash, which sometimes is a nightmare.
Well, we've got Laura, JP, Doc, and Tom. When we come back, we'll be taking your phone calls, 602-277-5827.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at AccurateAutomotiveAZ.com today.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus that carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Here in my car, I can only receive, I can listen to you, in case we stay before nights in cars.
I was really trying to come up with some witty reintroduction here, Dave, but I'm just not on my
witty.
I'm just not on my A game today, I suppose, with my comebacks. Anyway, you're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen, and that guy over there is Dave Riccio is his new name.
I got to get used to saying Riccio. I said Riccio for 37 and a half years, you know?
You know, it's funny. I should get my phone and do it right now. I tell Siri, I say, Siri, call Dave Riccio. And she says, I have a contact named Dave Riccio. Would you like me to call him or whatever she says it? I'm like, you talking back?
Siri says it right, but I say it wrong. I get what you're saying.
I got you. So we've been talking about monsoon season. Don't be the guy driving through the flooded thing, or don't be the dumb motorist. I think they can bill you for that now. A little bit of water. That Mother Nature is one powerful woman.
Yes, she is.
And water is another thing. You can't beat water. Water is powerful. Don't be the guy to go get stuck in the ditch. Worse yet, I'm not getting even stuck in the wash. You drive the car in a little bit. You suck up a bunch of water. Dave, we were talking earlier too. When I used to have the tow trucks, over by 44th and Washington, there's a couple parking lots. They're really low in one area. Really stormed, and we have to go get cars. People come out of there to get in their car. Guess what? The water is up higher than the mid-level on the wheel just from where they parked. So pay attention. A lot of these parking lots, they have to have the big drainage culvert in the middle of them.
Don't park there.
Try not to find the low spot maybe when you're parking. So,
I find when these storms come, those things are not like hooked to the sewer system. They're just dry wells, right?
Yeah.
So they just fill up. They get to capacity. Next thing you know, there's 3 foot of water in the parking lot. And if it gets above your door, I mean, it's going to soak. That car's going to stink.
Yeah. Well, my wife, when she lived in Texas, parked at her apartment at the time, and the water level rose up and started just filling up inside the car. She had water on the floorboard. It was one of those deals. Somebody left a little grommet out, or these cars have vents. They got to vent the air out of the car.
We did a transmission for a guy in 2014 was the year of the big storm, Kerry was saying, but we did a transmission for him, and his car was in his parking lot at his apartment complex, and it was literally underwater. I think we tried to, when he came in, he had a sunroof, so we tried to pour a bunch of rice in through the sunroof, try and dry it out. It didn't work. Anyhow. Let's go ahead and get
run over to the
Laura
Chinese
in.
Culture Center, get a couple hundred pounds.
Jasmine rice is what you need. Let's go with JP in Phoenix on a 2005 Ford Taurus. How can we help you, JP? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. Are you there?
Hello?
JP, how can we help you?
Yeah, this is John. They got it wrong.
Oh.
I have two things. One I agree with you, and one I disagree with you.
Oh, you're not allowed to disagree here. You got to make us look good.
Okay. The first thing on the air filters, usually what I do, of course you're going to have a little argument with your wife as long as it's not too dirty. You take the plastic, air box, and you put it in the dishwasher, and you get it super clean before you put your new air filter in. Okay. And here's where I disagree with you. On transmission service, I've been having my transmission changed, oil and filter every year, and maybe it's a waste of money, but you know what? I haven't blown a transmission yet.
Yeah. Oh, no disagreement there. We are on the same page on that as far as that goes.
Yeah, because what you see is, a lot of people, they don't maintain them. I don't care what the manufacturer says. If I waste a little bit of money with a little bit of extra oil and filters. Oh, another thing, I used to put the magnets in the bottom of the Ford pan because, they don't have them. In the older ones, they didn't have magnets.
Yeah, and what that does, it picks up all
the metal particles.
Extra debris and stuff. Yeah, and the other thing, John, what I call that is good insurance. Doing the it's like you take an oil change. Some say 3, some say 5, some say 15,000. You know what? If you take the mileage of a car and amortize that over whatever, just pick a 5-year period, you're only buying 2 or 3 more oil changes. It's $100. It's cheap insurance.
Definitely cheap insurance, and you got to understand the people that make these recommendations, the manufacturers, also sell parts when the car breaks. I mean, to me that's obvious, but I mean it's what's the motive there? I mean I know they're trying to sell them as maintenance-free vehicles. And that helps in the marketing side of things. Like, oh, you don't have to do anything but put gas in the car. This is a fantastic car. It's kind of like a little mistruth that makes you feel better about spending money on something.
I was talking with a customer the other day, and they said, "Well, I think I'm just going to get a new car because then I don't have to do anything but oil changes for 100,000 miles." I said, "Well, there's some truth to that if you want to throw your car away when it hits 100,000 miles because it will be a pile of junk."
That's not exactly green thinking. I mean, and you can look at it like that. If you take care of your car and you still are going to get rid of 100,000 miles, that's fine. But that's somebody's next car. That's somebody's first house. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's got to go to somebody rather than just throw it in the scrapyard and get it, There's to be green.
Well, and it's going to hold the value. You're going to get your money out of the car. You're going to enjoy the use in the
pride of ownership.
The car is going to be... you're just going to enjoy the car much more than driving around some rattle trap that you've just destroyed because you don't want to do anything but oil changes.
Well, let's get to Laura in Phoenix on a 2010 Nissan Altima. How can we help you, Laura? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. It's the 2000 Nissan Altima.
Okay. What's going on with it?
Well, when I have a factory Nissan battery, and so when it's time for another battery, do you recommend it would be better to get another a Nissan battery or just?
No, not necessarily. Where do you take your car for service, Laura?
It's a place on Grand Avenue in Peoria.
Okay. Well, I would probably just stick with your repair shop where you're getting your regular maintenance and everything done. Just stick with them. I mean, we recommend interstate batteries. It's a battery that many of the bumper-to-bumper shops use. The nice thing about that battery is you can have a warranty on that anywhere. I mean, if you have a Nissan battery, quite honestly, I bet the Nissan battery is a interstate battery anyway with the Nissan sticker on it, more than likely. But you can take that interstate battery, you can go anywhere across the country, and they're going to find somebody that will warranty and be able to take care of that battery for you. If you've got a Nissan battery, now you're married to the Nissan dealership, and you may not want to be.
For sure. Well, we're going to sneak in Tom from Apache Junction. He's got a 1996 Toyota 4Runner. How can we help you, Tom? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
A real quick question is, it's got 222,000 miles on it, and E3 spark plugs. Are they any good or not? And I'll listen and see what you say.
E3 spark plugs. I don't know anything about them. I think they're kind of like those Spitfire, whatever the heck they are.
I remember when those came out. That was kind of like hey, it's got 2 points. You're going to get better gas mileage, better horsepower.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of promises, even something about marriage help or something.
I would personally stick with the Nippon Denso spark plug that came in that Toyota factory from the factory. Nippon Denso has always been the manufacturer of the Toyota spark plugs, and you want to stick with the right one. You can get them at Napa or AutoZone probably has them. Any of the major auto parts store. Nippon Densos aren't as popular as NGK. The other manufacturer of spark plugs is Bosch, and I actually was with the Bosch people yesterday talking about spark plugs. They manufacture the AC Delco spark plug that's in your Chevrolet. You look at it, it's got the Bosch logo on it, but it says AC Delco. So Bosch spark plugs are good. Don't get the cheap ones though. There's a difference. You can have 3 spark plugs that will all fit in the car, but they're totally different spark plugs. As far as life.
You know what I like to talk about is all the time at my shop, I have these cars come in and something's wrong with it, and I look at it and it's because someone modified something from the factory. I'll give you my example, the K&N air filter, okay, or a conical style air filter. They work great and they have their application, but you can't treat them the same as you do a regular air filter. They've got to be serviced and oiled, and over-oiling and can cause damage and all these things. If it was a great filter, the manufacturer would have, for what the manufacturer of the car was after, they would have stuck one in there. But you got to realize when you're modifying something from stock, there is a point to it, but even like the spark plugs. Someone says, "Oh, we got this spark plug, it's great." The factory designed that engine around whatever, NGK you said or something.
Well, they spent millions of dollars in engineering and stuff to make sure that thing is burning the fuel and doing exactly what it should be doing. E3 and Spitfire, I don't think they've got quite the R&D. They probably have 6 spark plugs that fit every car. They've got a condensed part number line, so probably not real good choice.
So anyhow, hope you can join me. I'm going to be stopping by Rage Cycles this afternoon to get myself a piece of pizza and maybe buy another bicycle for my collection. If I want to still be married, it's probably not a good idea. Anyhow, we'll see you next week.